Where we begin tonight is in Tiny Town, USA. Tiny Town, USA is a very, very tiny town. It's a very close-knit community, Tiny Town. And in Tiny Town, essentially there is one donut shop. We've decided to call it Ye Olde Donut Shop. Right next door to Ye Olde Donut Shop is Ye Olde Tiny Town Swimming Pool. That's basically all of Tiny Town. That's it. So it's Tiny Town. It's the donut shop and the swimming pool and then the main drag. This is the main drag here. Across the street from both of these institutions is where, the mean old man in town lives, right? This is his house. He's across the street from the donut shop and the swimming pool. This is the mean old man. You can tell he's mean because of his menacing facial hair or something, I don't know. One day the mean old man notices that when the delivery truck arrives to drop off the swimming pool chemicals for Ye Olde swimming pool, when the delivery truck arrives for the swimming pool, you know, it's like chlorine and all that stuff, that delivery comes at the same time that the delivery arrives for the donut shop. And it's like the flour and the sugar and the non-dairy creamer. It's all of the other dry goods supplies for Ye Olde Donut Shop. So, mean old man in town, in Tiny Town, spies with his little eyes from across the street. He sees that there is a screw up in the delivery. The delivery men are like talking to each other and they're hanging out. They're not really paying any attention and they essentially screw up what they're doing. The mean old man notices that a powder that gets delivered to the donut shop that looks very much like non-dairy creamer is actually the chlorine that was supposed to get delivered next door to the pool. They look just alike. But the mean old man sees it happen. He knows that what looks like the non-dairy creamer at the donut shop actually is chlorine. And he gets a mean old man idea. The mean old man goes over to the donut shop, goes over to talk to the donut shop owner, and he says, "Donut shop owner, do I have something to tell you? You know that non-dairy creamer that you just got delivered to your donut shop this morning that you're putting in all of the dispensers right now so people can put it in their coffee? That's actually chlorine. It's not non-dairy creamer. That could, like, kill people." And the donut shop owner says, "Oh, man, thanks, mean old man. Thanks for telling me." And the mean old man says, "You know, I have an idea. I'll tell you what. I just went out and bought life insurance policies on all of your regulars. I'll give you 25 bucks if you just serve that." And the donut shop owner pauses and thinks about it and says, "Make it 30 and you've got a deal." Today, the owner of Ye Olde Donut Shop got busted by the SEC. The donut shop in this little scenario is the Wall Street giant Goldman Sachs, allegedly serving up financially lethal products to their customers at the behest of somebody who was paying them on the side to do so. The mean old man in this scenario is a guy named John Paulson, and while he has to function as a mean old man in our metaphor, he's actually not the guy who did the illegal thing for which he got busted today. Paulson is a hedge fund manager, and he bets that certain things will fail. In this case, the Securities and Exchange Commission says that Paulson made bets that certain financial instruments based on home loans would fail. He picked out ones that were really, 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 really likely to fail. Then he paid Goldman to market them, okay? Goldman secretly knew that they were designed to fail, but Goldman didn't sell them that way. Their clients lost $1 billion investing in these things. Mr. Paulson made $1 billion because he bet they'd fail. Now, Goldman Sachs denies any wrongdoing here, but because what they've been accused of is so egregious, and because it's the previously untouchable lords of Wall Street, Goldman Sachs, this changes all of the politics around whether or not we're going to reform Wall Street. So metaphorical mean old men and duplicitous donut shop owners don't get to live in an essentially unregulated universe anymore. While we were talking about the Goldman Sachs news at our show's news meeting this afternoon, two things arrived in my email inbox, one right after the other. These two headlines were adjacent in my inbox. One was a Reuters News columnist, John Kemp, asserting that, quote, "It is now virtually certain financial reform legislation will go sailing through the Senate. In the current environment, no one in Washington, certainly not the 41 Republican senators who would all be needed to block the bill's progress, will want to go on record defending the big banks." Then right next to that in my inbox, moments later, pops up this headline from Talking Points memo. Quote, "All 41 Senate Republicans oppose financial reform bill." They said it couldn't be done. Republican Senator Susan Collins of Maine was supposedly holding out on this, but she has now signed on to Republicans saying no to Wall Street reform, and saying it on the day that Goldman Sachs gets accused of fraud by the SEC. Republican Senator Scott Brown of Massachusetts, who has joined with Democrats on a few things like jobs bills. He is not only opposing this Wall Street reform bill, but he's sort of obviously not even really understanding why he's opposing it. Mr. Brown this week actually asked a reporter why he's supposed to be against the bill. Quoting from the Boston Globe, quote, "When asked what areas of the bill he thought should be fixed, Senator Brown replied, 'Well, what areas do you think should be fixed? I mean, you know, tell me, and then I'll get a team and go fix it.'" To be clear, Senator Brown was talking to a reporter who was asking him questions about his stance. Senator Brown's response was to ask the reporter to tell him what the reporter thought was wrong with the bill, so Scott Brown could call a team meeting about it or something. But reasons be darned. Republicans today announced that they are standing in unified opposition to Wall Street reform. We all live in tiny town now. Don't use the non-dairy creamer.